Hello, good morning and welcome to Business. The Monetary Policy Committee of the Bank of Ghana is getting ready to announce a new policy rate later this morning. This was after it met last week to review the health of the economy. The policy rate currently stands at 25.5%. Acts as the rate at which banks can borrow from the central bank. It often influences the cost of doing business in the country. Several analysts engaged by Joy Business are predicting a marginal reduction in the policy rate by some 100 basis points. Their argument is based on what they describe as a favorable economic outlook. Karish Mate is an economist at Data Bank and is one of those analysts who believe the rate should be reduced.
Consider the interplay of risk factors that could affect the policy rate decision. I foresee a potential reduction in the monetary policy rate, and that's mainly due to two key debates or arguments that can be put forward. One is the inflation argument, and the second argument is the interest rate alignment argument. On the inflation argument, you would see that towards the end of last year into this year, the cedi was depreciating quite fast. And the first MPC meeting feared that this sharper pace of depreciation could result in higher inflation pressures in the subsequent months. And so they chose to leave the policy rate unchanged at the 25.5% level in January. It turned out at the last inflation reading that inflation actually came down on a year-on-year basis. But most importantly, on a month-on-month basis, where you should have seen the exchange rate impact, it was even a sharper fall on a month-on-month basis. So this may be showing that the exchange rate pass-through may not have been as dire as initially feared. And so that will create some room for policy easing. Again, if you look at the fact that the cedi itself is correcting itself, the depreciation is recorded, and it's recovering some of its lost values. And as we speak, it has recovered about 1 month's value that it has lost. And it's trading at a level it was as at February. And that also creates the room for policy easing because the inflation outlook is a bit more improved on the back of the recovering cedi. Then you look at the fact that at the last budget, the budget cut the special petroleum tax from 17.5% to 15%. That improves the inflation outlook because prices at the pump have dropped. And not only have they dropped, they have not yet accounted for the recovering cedi. And they have not accounted for the lower price on the world market. And if that is accounted for in the next pricing window, prices at the pumps may drop further, and that further improves the inflation outlook. So if you look at the inflation debate, there is a lot of argument in favor of a policy cut.
Away from that, the total amount of debts the country owes as at the end of 2016 could be more than 122 billion cedis that has been reported earlier. This is because the Finance Ministry is yet to release the final numbers. Latest economic and financial data released by the Bank of Ghana still puts the debt estimates at 122 billion cedis, which sources say is provisional. George Biafe has more on this and other developments on the economy as captured in the report.
A careful look at the debt numbers over the past 2 years shows the amount always goes up when the Finance Ministry releases the final estimates. Analysts were looking forward to the final debt numbers by this time, especially when it's about 3 months after closing the financial year for 2016. However, persons with knowledge of the debt numbers say it is still being worked on and it could go up or record little change. According to the Bank of Ghana's report, more than half of the 122 billion cedis were loans taken from outside the country, with the remaining secured locally. The public debt as of December still accounts for about 73% of the total value of the economy, a development that could still result in the country being described as struggling to pay its debts on time. The Bank of Ghana report showed that economic activities picked up significantly in January compared to the last 2 months in 2016. It also revealed we have earned more from our exports than how much it cost us to import for the country's needs. On the monetary side, the report showed efforts to check the amount of money in circulation is yielding some results, as the amount of money outside the banking system has gone down marginally, while foreign currency deposits for the month of January compared to the same period for last year is also reducing The banking sector report also points to some mixed results. Whilst assets, deposits, and loan advances were going up significantly, the loans that banks fear might go bad as of January were still very high compared to the same period for last year.
And that's all in business for now. We'll bring you some more business updates at midday. My name is Emmanuel Abuaji. Good morning.